What are you doing?
Oh my god.
I don't even know what's going on.
Player one. Prepare yourself.
Don't forget to get cards at RitaYanez.com, and so am I. Under your bed.
Turn on the light! Turn on the light! Turn on the light!
Hi there, Aries. This is your weekly reading for the week of December 7th through 13th. I wish you well. I hope everything is going well for you. This is a week that starts off on a little bit of a funky note because we're coming off of some of the same energies that have been disruptive before. And by that, I mean Neptune squaring Saturn, which around the end of November we were dealing with again. Most of you would be too young, or if you do remember, it would have been around I keep wanting to say 97. That's not for everybody. 2007, where you would have noticed some of this funky activity going on, that things were just not really working very well. People were not getting along easily. Uranus squaring Pluto is kind of being provoked again around December 6th and 7th because Mars in Libra is part of that problem. And Uranus square Pluto is a kind of energy that is difficult to get beyond because the square energy makes it somewhat confrontational in that if it's with another individual or an entity or situation, a disagreement, you can imagine that people might just go to blows over this, not necessarily having to punch anybody in the face, but people are very upset when their patterns and when their situations and their comfortable worlds are somewhat shaken up. And also we've had this Uranus Pluto square is the one that's being stimulated by Mars in Libra, which is your solar seventh house of partnerships, of course. And with that said, on Monday, we start off the energy of the Mars-Libra opposition to Uranus and Aries. And so, of course, there's some push-pull between me versus you. What do we do versus what do I do and what you do? And here, of course, we could feel at times with your age that we're being put under great demands or pressure to perform or to do parts of things that we don't want to do. Let's say you get involved in doing the laundry with your sister and you're the one that sorts the dirty clothes because it's disgusting, but somebody's got to do it. And you expect that she is going to then do all of the folding, not just colors or whites, because you're dealing with the dirtiest part of the laundry. And so this is where, sometimes we have people that are that upset about it. Imagine all the stupid things that adults get into arguments about. Come on. So whatever it is that's going on, the way you would have felt it could have even been if you're in school and you've been having a hard time keeping your grade point average up. You could have been having difficulty with your counselor who throws it all back on you and says, you got to work harder. And you're saying, no, you don't understand. I need more help. I don't understand. And then going this back and forth kind of thing. And it could even be with a parent or other authority figure in your world. The Ten of Pentacles indicates that you would like happiness and harmony. So I know that you're striving toward doing good things for your future, to secure it, to guarantee it, to get an education so that you can be free, so that you can own a nice home, so that you can travel if you like. Pretty much, the only time to do most of the traveling is before you have children. So you could be doing it during summers off of college and, before you end up married or anything like this. And so you do have some really strong hopes and aspirations, goals for the future. So maybe there are people that just don't understand how serious about it you really are. Okay, so it could be OCD at times, but it's really not such a bad thing. Tuesday, we have the Devil card here that indicates you just need to make sure that other people don't pull you into situations or don't draw you in to temptations that you know damn straight are not good for you. If somebody's trying to force you into drinking alcohol or smoking cigarettes or worse, then they're really not your friend, because if they loved you, they wouldn't even be doing this around you. And likewise, it could be a situation where somebody is pressuring you for sex and vice versa. And this is another instance where I tell people, if somebody really loves you, they will not pressure you. And also, it is crazy, ridiculous, dangerous, and reckless to engage in sexual activity without being on birth control pills, and without protection, without understanding what the hell's going on. How do you think all the surprise babies show up, sweetheart? They don't show up all on their own. They get called down here by a moment of strangeness. So anyway, we've got Tuesday. The same day, we've got Mercury and Sagittarius squaring the North Node in Virgo, which is an indication that something on your daily routine type basis is up for some kind of review. Now, it could be that you're trying to communicate what I said similarly about the need to get more help you think you need at school, like tutoring, and then the counselor or some other person in authority there saying, no, you just have to try harder. You're like, you don't get it. Do you think I want the humiliation of coming in to ask you for more help? Would you just please help me? And then we could see what it is that's going on. So that's kind of the square energy, where you know that you're right. You know that you're doing your best. And this is where the emphasis is. It's asking you to stick with it. If you need help and you don't understand what's going on, you need to stick with it. And then you need to tell a parent or guardian, look, I know I need help. I've marked on my calendar all the days that I've tried to get help and I don't get it. I keep saying loudly now, I don't understand, and they're passing me over. The sun in Sagittarius also trining Uranus in Aries might give you a bright idea to just literally blurt it all out and say it to one of your parents or something. Don't let it become the thing that has you spewing what you really think about your teacher or professor. Keep that under control. If you want help, you have to demonstrate maturity, that you'll know how to get help, so don't shoot yourself in the foot. Also, we have on Wednesday the Justice card in reverse. I know, So that's why I'm telling you, stay away from people that want to do the drinking, cigarette smoking, pot smoking, reckless thing, sex thing, shoplifting, because here we have an indication that somebody is going to be caught, and it might as well not be you. So as long as you stay out of the area of influence, and the only thing that could happen is somebody asks you some questions about someone else, and if law enforcement asks you questions, well, then you'll answer them. But don't get yourself involved in what any of these problems are, because Sun in Sagittarius squaring Chiron in Pisces, again, this is like the adjustment energy of needing to make sure you are assisting to get somebody help, not being part of their downward spiral into Hades. Okay, so make sure that you understand you got to protect yourself, and that law enforcement authority figures and everyone else is going to back you up if you say to your friend, you are not going to drive. I can smell alcohol on your breath. Don't lie to me. You really didn't drink the Florida water. And then take their keys away and run if you have to get help. And that's what your role should be, where somebody could perceive you as being unjust or unfair. Sorry, because I just don't want you to be dead. Or if you see somebody texting in a car that they're driving, that's the moment you got to text somebody, even if it's to call 911 and say, help, I've got a crazy person driving me around and she's texting. Don't get into a fight with somebody driving, but you do need to say, you can say it like this, I gotta pee. No, you don't understand. I have explosive diarrhea. Pull over and then get out of the damn car, because I've seen wrecks where it's unbelievable what people think they could get away with. Like, I dropped my earring. They bend over and death occurs on many levels. So make sure that you're not part of some legal process because of it. On Wednesday, we've got the King of Cups upright. So if you do need to talk to somebody, there is an authority figure who's very sensitive and understanding. They could be a therapist. They could be a clinical psychologist. They could be the school counselor. And this could be the lunch lady who might be a man, might be a woman. Nobody's really sure, but she's sweet. So if you need to talk to somebody, make sure that you talk to adult authority figures that are safe. So look, if your neighbor across the street's sweaty Uncle Jim Bob wants you to come over because he'll listen to you some, be careful. He might also touch you. So make sure that you're talking to people that are safe, and if anybody does anything uncomfortable to you, then definitely get yourself some help or run like hell. I don't care that you left your purse there. The cops will get it back for you when they get involved. And the King of Cups could be a good friend who's just a little bit older, or older in terms of maturity, who really does want to help you out, and he'll be a shoulder to cry on. And it could even be a woman who looks like a man. I mean, just a chick who's very masculine or something. Friday, we have the World card in reverse here, and this is a card that is good just fine on its own. It indicates that something is coming to a close, a cycle of your life. It could be that you're actually turning 13 soon. or that you're looking forward to it, I should say, and that you are also feeling like things are starting to come together to you. You're thinking, you know what, next year when I'm 13, when I'm 16, when I'm 18, whatever, I'll be in college, it's going to be great. I'll be in school, I'll have a job. They're going to let me have a job if I keep my GPA up. So there's not a whole lot to worry about here, I think, at this juncture, other than there's an adjustment necessary, it seems, from the Mars in Libra, quincunx, which is an inconjunct aspect to Chiron in Pisces, which of course could be bringing up to the surface kind of some give and take energy where, remember to make sure that you pace yourself in what you say, don't come across aggressive. But if you want to say, hey, look, mom, dad, guardian, whoever, granny, uncle Bo, whatever has to happen, that you say, I've been keeping my grades up. I've been doing a really good job of helping you with the house chores. I've been watching my baby nephew or babysitting for so-and-so, helping print flyers at church, whatever it is you've been doing. And then say, look, I'm looking to know, when can I get a job? I'll need some help getting there. So when will it be appropriate, and what kind of schedule would I be able to work? Holidays are stuffed full of temporary workers. And then a lot of people, the same way it goes over the summer, you've got all of these college kids working at Taco Bell and every other place, and then they disappear on spring break and never come back. So there's always opportunities to get jobs. It isn't just that the seasonal ones will go. On Saturday, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Again, I want to remind you that if you're talking to anybody, and let's say it's the proverbial hot 17-year-old, remember that could be a 48-year-old slick, greasy, nasty guy, and that isn't the person you thought you were talking to, or maybe that's a rapist. So be careful. Make sure that when you're talking to people online, that you do not give your location away, that you do not give your home address away. Do not be giving them your private cell phone numbers. Do not give them descriptors about when your parents are home, when they leave, because remember, you could be talking to either a slimy, disgusting 48-year-old, or you could be talking to a cop who's posing as a 12-year-old to see what you will do. So remember, there's people out there spying to protect you, to make sure that we catch I was going to say a really bad word, the mother effers from hurting kids and doing bad things to people. But just the same, there could be people that come into your world and they are definitely not sincere. When the Knight of Cups in reverse shows up, and especially since we've got the Tower here on Sunday in reverse, it means that a situation that could be very complex or even dangerous will be averted, but it takes you to be able to protect yourself in situations where you're not being supervised, because we can't watch you forever. So remember, if you're walking home from school, walking home for a job, your friend's house, and you feel weird, start running. Just start running. And that way, even if you catch somebody's attention and they call the cops, maybe somebody really is on your ass chasing you. Also, if you feel like there's such a precarious situation, you need to go up to a house and pray to God they're not the pedophile, and bang on the door and say, please help me. Would you call 911? Please, somebody is following me. Remember, people that got killed in different situations, they weren't expecting they were going to get killed. They got lured into it, or they were abducted. So I'm not trying to scare you, but I am saying that you have to be careful. And I believe that as a mother, and even though I'm not your mama, that I'm trying to remind you that there are people in the world who might lead you astray. And just remember, with the Devil card here, the Tower in reverse, the Knight of Cups in reverse, even the Justice card in reverse, it could be your friends that get you into some mischief, or it could be a boyfriend or girlfriend that you thought was a good friend, and really no, what they were doing is, doing their version of crazy, which also will include getting a bunch of people busted. So make sure that you're not involved in this. And again, if you're going to ask for something like participation, help in getting you back and forth to a job, you got to prove that your grades are good enough, that this is doable, because somebody's got to be able to get you there and bring you back, and that everybody is supportive, and that requires being mature, Aries. I know you can do it.